Hi, welcome back. And I hope you were able to determine if the user entered your birthday, and extra special attaboys if you had an else clause on your if statement that said the user did not enter my birthday, but they did enter my unbirthday. So now let's keep going with our logical operations. And we are going to determine if the user entered a date in spring. And for this, we will assume, and I think these are pretty close to right, pretty close maybe, and I hope my spelling is also pretty close to right, close maybe, but let's assume the spring equinox is March 20th and the summer solstice is June 20th. So spring, the first day of spring is March 20 and the first day of summer is June 20. Before we tackle that, let's see if we can get a visual idea of exactly what's going on. If we draw a year in a line, and January 1st would be off to the left here somewhere, and December 31st would be off to the right here somewhere, then I come up to March 20th, and that's my first day of spring, and spring can be any time in April, any time in May, or less than June 20th, the first 19 days in June, or March 20th or later if the month is March. So let's get the easy parts out of the way first. And I'm not going to have Boolean variables anymore. I'm just going to write this in relation straight in my condition in the if statement. So let's say, and again, let's program in small chunks because that's the best way to get things working. The easiest thing to do is to test any time in April or any time in May is going to be in spring. So I can say if month is 4 and or month is 5. Now, why did I put or there? Because going back to my truth table, 4 or 5 will work for me being in spring, and that is what the values of this or operation will give me. If I used and, there is no month that is 4 and 5, so I would always get a false value coming out of an and. So I want or there. And let's just stop right there and make sure I can get April and May. And it's either spring or not spring. Let's run this right quick. And if I put a month of 2 and the day doesn't matter, it's not spring from line 34 here. If I run it again and put a month of 3, again the day doesn't matter. It's not spring yet because I haven't added my March testing. If I put a month of 4 and the day doesn't matter, it's spring because it's sometime in April. A month of 5, it's spring because it's sometime in May. And a month of 6, which is June, It's not spring yet because I haven't added my February processing. So, good so far. Now, let's tackle the March. The first day of spring is March 20th. I can use parentheses just like I do with arithmetic operations, and I think I want to do that just for my sanity's sake. By the way, the precedence of and is higher than the precedence of or, so take that into account when you're writing your conditions, unless you want to throw in lots of parentheses. Lots of parentheses is never bad stylistically, okay? Forcing those order of operations and being clear about it is a very good programming practice. But now, if the month is 3 and the day is greater than or equal to the 20th, then it's going to be spring. Or the month can be 4, or the month can be 5. So let's test what I have right here. And I tested 2 through 6 for the months already. The interesting test I'm adding here is for month of 3, and let's pick a day of 19. That's not spring. Let's run it again with a month of 3 and a day of 20. It's spring. So I've added my month processing for March. And now I want to add it for June. So that would be month equals 6, and the day needs to be less than my solstice, which is 20. And let me do a little bit of reformatting here if Eclipse will let me. So now let's see if I have things correct for June. So my month would be 6 and my day would be 19. That's spring. If I have my month of 6 and my day of 20th, that's not spring, that's summer. And in North Carolina, that's serious business. But here, we're going to stop this now and come back and do one more video. But here, I want you, in the meantime, to test whether the user entered a day in winter. Okay? So, we'll be back.